So number one goal for this podcast is to not say you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I like get you. Like really, I like get you.
Okay. Do you think creativity can be taught?
I think personally that you can teach methods to improve creativity, but not necessarily to be creative.
I think the same. Because if someone's teaching you to be creative, how creative are you really?
True.
Not getting enough sleep is almost seen as a sign of strength among teen nowadays.
Okay, well,
What do you mean by that? Like people pull all-nighters and be like, brag about it?
yeah,
Is
like
that what
oh
you're trying
yeah,
to
I
say?
only got like 3 hours of sleep. Ha ha. Like I've noticed that at least.
I feel like that was more of a middle school thing. Like people would brag about pulling all-nighters, me myself included. Like I try to stay up as late as I could
Why?
and like brag about it. Cause you know what? I don't know.
What do you have to prove?
Nothing. But I just thought I was so cool because I would stay up till like 8 in the morning when like later I realized how amazing sleep was. You know what I mean?
No, I would never do that. I would feel like shit the whole day.
No, I've done that. I did that last year a couple times. Me and Lizbeth pulled an all-nighter the day before summer workouts last year.
That's so
We got
terrible
up
for your
and
body.
we got up and we went to go work out. And you know what? We thought it was hilarious.
And then you got home and you fell asleep, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You know what? I think I did that a couple times this year too. But just because I would do nothing all day and like I really didn't need to sleep. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Oh yeah, but I think that's really dumb. And I've seen that trend in my younger cousins as well. Like they'll tell me like that they don't sleep and hey, let's stay up all night. Like, no, foo. I'm trying to get a whole 12 hours. You just feel so much
12?
more refreshed.
12 hours of
Yes.
sleep?
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
too much
12
sleep?
hours. No. Is there such thing as too much sleep?
Yeah.
Okay, but 12 is not it. Too much. On weekends, I get 12 hours of sleep. Have you heard of the You're typing this up. You're looking this up.
Yeah, I know.
Have you heard of the what is it called? The sleep bank?
What's
I think
that?
or the sleepless bank. Hold on.
It looks like about 7 to 9 hours is normal, or is what's needed, at least.
7 to 9.
Yep, for healthy adults. I get like
Oh,
6,
sleep
7.
sleep debt
Sleep
is the
debt?
difference between the amount of sleep you should be getting and the amount you actually get. It's a deficit that grows every time we skim some extra minutes off our nightly
yeah.
slumber. So like
Yeah,
throughout.
I've heard about that before.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe our viewers haven't. So can you let me explain?
Fine.
Okay. It's basically when say you need 8 hours of sleep, but you only sleep 6 hours every single day for a week. Those numbers will accumulate so that at the end of the week, you're basically in sleep debt. About 2 times 7, 14 hours. So yeah,
Sleep
welcome
debt.
to my TED Talk. How important is sleep really?
I would assume vital, right?
Well, I mean, it's vital to living, but like people have this idea that you need 8 hours of sleep, but there's monks in Asia that are always like talking about how you really only need like 4 and you can train your mind. Now, I don't know how powerful the power of the mind is because you've heard that term, right? Power of the mind, like especially in athletics, they'll be like, it's the power of the mind. You can push through anything if you set your mind to it. Well, I don't know how powerful the power of the mind is, but do you really think you can convince yourself that you only need 4 hours of sleep and genuinely only need 4 hours of sleep?
Well, I've heard this before. Not this specifically, but I've heard the saying that you can get used to 3 hours of sleep and be fine, but at no point will it ever be good for you. So
That's
like,
very interesting.
so like,
Well, less sleep is linked to higher chances of disease, like especially chronic diseases.
why do we need to sleep?
It's linked to weight gain. Wait, what did you say? Why do we need to sleep?
Yeah, because wouldn't it be like, it would be more evolutionary advantageous if we could just
that is
stay
so
up all
true.
the time.
That is so true. You know what? But at the same time, if we were to stay awake all the time, we would also need more food, like a lot more food.
Yeah, we would. Well, then it would even out, wouldn't it? Because we would just eat more food, and that's it. That's fine.
Yeah, but think about it. When you're hunting for food, is your brain like? Because I know sleep is linked to mental development, to just like your brain getting better, right?
Yeah.
So if you're hunting and like looking for food, yeah, the energy part would even out, but would the rest of the part even out? I mean, when you sleep,
Well,
your muscles rest, and they, what's the word that I'm looking for? They recuperate.
muscle protein
They,
synthesis.
yeah, that they no, they recover. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
muscles
well,
recover.
yeah. Okay, yeah, same thing. Well then, I guess
What, really? Synthesis? No, synthesis is it making
you
muscle
are
mass.
rebuilding muscle.
Recovery,
You are rebuilding muscle, are you not?
but you're building more of it.
Okay. But I guess it does make sense since we are not like our eyes aren't developed to see in the dark, and
Why is that?
because we sleep during the night. Hardy har har.
I hate you. You're an idiot.
I mean, nocturnal animals sleep during the day because their eyes are too sensitive to light.
Okay, but dogs can see in the dark.
They can see better in the dark. I didn't say that they can see. Like, it doesn't mean like they can see better than us in the dark.
Okay, wolves can see in the dark.
Okay. But aren't they also partly nocturnal?
No.
No.
A nocturnal animal sleeps in the day. Do wolves sleep in the day? No. They can sleep in the day. They can
Wait.
be awake at night.
Okay, so when do wolves sleep, huh?
In the night?
But they're nocturnal, are they not?
No, they're not nocturnal.
Then okay, maybe I just heard you wrong. Maybe I just heard you wrong.
Are wolves?
I heard an interesting fact.
Tell
that
me.
Ants only require, I think it was 8 minutes of sleep.
That makes sense, right? Their little tiny brains don't need that much recovery
Yeah,
and
like
development.
the whole colony like sleeps at once, like at the same exact time for 8 minutes, and then they're all good to go again.
I think our brains are like so amazing. Like they're the most evolutionary advanced like things ever. They're just so accustomed to everything in your environment. I just love it. They're perfect products of your environment.
Are they really perfect though?
Yeah, or otherwise you'd be dead. Right?
Schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, hereditary depression.
That's the exception, not the rule.
Okay, but perfect usually leaves out an exception.
Okay. Close to perfect. I'm just
Okay.
saying that
It's very marvelous.
in tune to our environment. That's all I'm saying. Man, I've probably been saying like this entire time and not even noticing
I've
it.
actually, I was listening, said like about less than 7 times
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Wow.
in the last 10-ish minutes.
I am so proud of myself. Last time it was every 3 seconds.
It was.
Not even. I think it was 2 seconds.
Mm,
Wolves. Oh, shoot. You're right. Yeah. Wolves are primarily nocturnal. Shoot. I shouldn't have looked that one up, but our viewers need to know. I love saying viewers.
honestly, I was just going against you, just to go against you, so I didn't even know.
I know. Sometimes I like to do that. Like that one time we had the argument in the car.
Which one?
I forgot actually.
Okay, that's very helpful.
I was hoping you would remember.
No, we've talked a lot in the car. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was talking about how this is the one that I remember, how your brain is always predicting things because in the wild our ancestors needed to know when things were happening 24/7 before ahead of time, because if not they would die, you know?
Yep. Wait, was that an argument? Because I think we're agreeing now.
No, it wasn't an argument. I was just telling you a fact.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I was also talking about how marvelous the brain was. I think I'm going to be a psychologist.
I really want to
A clinical psychologist.
to help prescribe patient. Is that what it is?
Okay, first of all, that's a psychiatrist.
Okay, well, you know what? I hardly ever read the book in psychology, so
It's okay. I'm here to inform you.
what's a clinical psychologist for our listeners out there?
I'm going to look this one up so I can give the exact description. Hey, what do you have in front of you? Do you have a computer?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a computer. I have monitor 1, monitor 2 for multitasking.
Wow. Very tech savvy.
I need to be more productive with my life, because my life.
How is your productivity, by the way? Wait a second. Let me tell you what clinical psychology is. is a broad branch of psychology that focuses on diagnosing and treating mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. Some of the more common disorders that might be treated include learning disabilities, substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. Yeah. I would not be a therapist, though. For sure, for sure.
I feel like I could listen to people complain about their lives for like an hour, and I could probably be okay with that, but there's just gonna be those few people who have the stupidest reasons to be sad. I'm just gonna want to punch them, so I'm probably shouldn't do that.
Oh my gosh. No,
Like-
I think I'll be a great therapist. Like, honestly, tell me I'd be a great therapist. Tell me it, because you know it's true.
You would be a decent therapist.
Oh. Okay, you know, I'm gonna
You
act
need
like
to
that
show
one
more
didn't hurt.
compassion with your therapy sessions.
What?
You're just
really?
you're more of a robot, honestly.
What?
I'll cut this
I've
out for
never
your
heard
sake, but you're kind of
No,
a
no, no,
robot
don't cut
at
it out.
times. No, don't cut it out.
Like, no. Like, I have no emotions, or what are you saying?
No, you just cut and dry. You're like, okay, here's what you need to do. That's it. There's no, it's okay, you know, you'll get through this. It'll be all fine.
Oh, shoot. I have never told one of my patients that. I've never told them that
exactly.
they're going to be fine. Dang. That's probably the number one thing I need to say. It's going to be okay. Shoot. Well, you know what? I have this really good line that really does help people. I tell them, okay, imagine this. 3 years from now, where are you going to be? You're going to be chilling on a beach, or maybe at your job, or maybe in your own house. I don't know. But you're going to laugh at this because you're going to realize that it wasn't that big of a deal, and you're going to think it was funny. And you know what? Usually people kind of agree with me. And it always helps me get through things, so.
What happened 3
Okay.
years ago that you still think about, that you don't laugh about, that you find you're so sad about?
No, because most people, like, things that actually happen, like, you really do laugh about in 3 years.
Well, I feel like
Or not even in 3 years, like, even, like, a month or two. Like, things just, like, have a funny way of just losing significance when you're not in that moment. Like, I don't know. People are really dramatic,
that's the quote of the
including
day.
myself. What?
Things have a funny way of losing significance. Or
And
whatever
people.
you said.
So do people.
Yes, people. What
Like,
were
you might think someone is like the center of your universe. Like, you could think they're like all this, and in a month or even two, like, you'll be completely over it, and you'll be
I'd
like,
say
that's crazy.
I'd say if you're like deeply entrenched in them, probably closer to like half a year. You'll be like completely over
Yeah,
them.
yeah, half a year. Say that. But even in a half a year, you're gonna be, I don't know. For me, it's always like, I was crazy. Like, it did not even mean that much. Like, they were such scrubs. I really don't care. And then I just think about how great my life is. And it's great.
How great is your life?
Honestly, right now I'm a little stressed. Well, not even stressed. I already told you worried. I'm worried about my life. I'm worried that I can't win state. I'm so worried. And I know I shouldn't be, because that's in the future and I should just work as hard as I can. But like, I just feel like I'm putting myself very vulnerable by putting in like work. Like, I'm just making myself vulnerable to, if I don't win or I don't do better than last year, I am just going to be completely devastated. I think I'm going to lose like all my self-worth. Like, you know, my quote, know your worth, like, that's just going to be completely useless. I don't know. Dang. You know what? I do not like that silence that you just gave me.
I was texting someone. Sorry.
Fuck you.
Hey. It was this my friend that I got to design a logo, like an actual nice looking logo for us.
Oh, nice.
I'll ask him for what he has.
How's
so
your
far.
love life?
We're not talking about this in public.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Can I tell you about mine?
I'll cut this out. Yeah, whatever.
You don't have to cut it out. I'm just going to say I love myself.
Go to hell.
Why? That's... Ah! I love life.
What was that?
It was a mosquito. It was trying to eat me. Oh, fuck, he's eating me. He's like already bit me like 5 times. I feel the bumps. Okay. Anyways, we're talking about psychology, right? So you want to go into the psychology field?
That sounds like really amazing to me.
Honestly, yeah. I think psychology is one of the things that really fascinates me besides astronomy.
What were we talking about? I was gonna say something, and then you were like, "Wait, let me tell you about what a clinical psychologist." What?
Oh shoot, I
What were
forgot,
we
and I
talking
actually wanted.
about?
I shouldn't have cut in.
You asshole. I
Oh,
completely
therapist.
therapist. It was something
Something about
after
a
that.
therapist.
It was something after that.
Oh, schizophrenia. You're telling me that the no, that was
No,
before.
that was way before.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to just move on, or you want to keep talking about whatever you're talking about?
No, let's just move on. Floating
Okay.
island of plastic straw
Straws.
debate.
No, floating island of plastic slash forward slash. You can't forget that. Plastic straw debate.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that there's like a floating island of just plasticware and stuff like that?
Oh, that freaking sucks. Really?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Island. Floating island.
And you know why it
Oh,
connects?
plastic. What?
I was watching. You know what? I'm gonna go to my YouTube history so that I can find the exact like thingy that this is called.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is also described as the Pacific Trash Vortex. It's a gyre of marine debris particles in the central North Pacific Ocean discovered between 1985 and 1988.
That's really sad. And the worst
Um,
thing is that plastic takes so long
to decay.
Yeah.
Takes like hundreds of years, right?
Yeah, I think it's like thousands.
Yeah, probably.
Let's say the exact number. Plastic decay
Well, there's also different types of plastic.
rate. You know what? We're gonna go for the general answer. Plastic waste is one of the many types of waste that take too long to decompose. Normally, plastic items can take up to 1,000 years to decompose in landfills, but plastic bags we use in everyday life take 10 to 1,000 years to decompose, while plastic bottles can take 450 years or more. That is so crazy.
How do we know that though? Because plastic was only invented in like the recent history.
Okay, well, you know what else was also invented in the recent history?
What?
I was gonna say chemistry, but no, more chemical advancement. I don't know.
That doesn't.
That doesn't make sense. What's the word I'm looking for? Chemical. Okay, just technological advancement. Okay, we know this stuff. I think. Hey, you know I'm so sad that I can't trust documentaries anymore.
Because that.
Like
one
I don't
lied to
even
you?
know what to watch. Yeah. Hey, Vicente.
Hey, Natalie.
Okay. You know how I'm really like depressed over that I can't find the meaning of life. I don't know why I'm alive. It's kind of sad. It gets to me every 6 months. You know, my whole story with that.
Yeah.
I think what I'm gonna do, because I think I can graduate early, because I have so many credits. I think I'm gonna try to graduate early, and then I'm just gonna bike around Eurasia or like do something just around Eurasia, and just because I was watching this documentary of this guy, and he just rode his bike for a straight year around the continent, and I think I'm gonna do that. He inspired me, and we'll see what I can get from that. If I don't get anything, well, you know what? At least I have that.
That sounds like a
Experience.
very bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think so. Why does it sound like a bad idea?
Wait,
YOLO,
Eurasia.
you never live once.
Isn't where is Eurasia? Isn't that more like the Middle Eastern area?
Europe and Asia.
Okay, but like Russia or like the Middle East.
It's a fucking continent.
So it's all of it, all of it.
Yes.
Why would you want to do that?
Besides Africa.
So you're gonna go from like Taiwan to like freaking New England.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go to Taiwan though. Maybe Thailand. You know, I'm gonna just go wherever, like pass through wherever, and like we'll see where life takes me. Oh, good. I hate mosquitoes.
Where are you gonna get the funding for this?
You don't need funding for a bike.
Okay, but you gotta eat. You gotta find a place to sleep.
Yeah,
So sleep on the ground.
I think I'm gonna find a job as I go.
You're gonna be constantly on the move. How are you gonna find a job and hold it?
Don't worry, I'll find little jobs everywhere.
Listen, Natalie, being a prostitute isn't a good job.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Not when it involves selling yourself.
Okay, you know what?
What?
I didn't say I was gonna sell
Okay,
myself.
but what can you do?
Although
What can you do?
I do have to sell myself to the junior exec team. I'm trying to win.
What can you do while traveling around a large land mass? You can't hold down a job because you're gonna be constantly on the move. What are you gonna do? Odd jobs like what? Like, are you gonna fix someone's floor? Are you gonna do some roofing? I don't know what you're gonna do, Nat.
Yeah, I think I will do that. I think I'll pick up pieces of trash along the way and recycle them for money. I don't know.
And then you're gonna carry it on your bike?
Okay, listen. I'll save money before. Jeez, I don't need that much money. You know what? Actually, I was watching that documentary, and the guy said that you can eat in Thailand for less than $1.
Are you gonna stay in Thailand the whole time?
No.
Then what are you gonna do?
Okay, listen. The U.S. has very expensive food, and if I'm not that strict, then I can just do it. You know what? I can go find a freaking apple tree. I don't know.
Then that's theft.
Well, fuck. Then I'm a thief. I'll eat grass. I don't know. I don't need that much food. Trust me, I wrestled.
You're gonna come back like 20 pounds lighter.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so that's the plan. It's not fully in motion or even a plan yet.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Can you please stop critiquing it? It's just an idea right now.
Ideas can be critiqued.
I'll figure it out. Okay, the idea itself, but you're critiquing my planning.
Are we still going around the U.S. on a road
so
trip?
what's the debate?
What debate?
The floating island of plastic /
Oh wait,
plastic
I was
straw
gonna
debate.
say something whenever you were talking about how plastic takes forever to break down.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this article, and I have pulled it up right here. How somewhere in Asia, I'm too busy, Japan, it looks like, found a bacteria that actually eats plastic. So they're trying to grow it and try to make it as versatile as possible to eat plastic faster, eat more plastic, and this could have very significant effects on the plastic dispository, if that's the right, no, plastic garbage, waste, whatever. Yeah, but the debate about plastic straws is like, think about every time you go to a restaurant, right? They more than likely give you a plastic straw.
Right, plastic straw, plastic ware, plastic plate sometimes.
But you don't need a plastic straw. You can just drink from the cup.
Right.
And over time, I think it was something around the ballpark of we use like 100 million straws a day. Or that sounds too big. Let me look up.
And what are they saying? Now we can like lower this?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, but
at the end of the day, straws are such a small percentage of the actual plastic.
Yeah, just like people blame cars for
all
the carbon dioxide in the air, but it's actually agriculture that is like 90% of it.
Yeah, like cows farting is most of why.
Yeah, methane, all that. Everything agriculture, the fertilizer runoff, that's a huge environmental disaster.
According to the National Park Service, we use about 500 million plastic straws a day. Looks
like it wasn't big enough.
Shit, dang. That's scary.
You know, I'm gonna stop using plastic straws. Oh my gosh, I ate a veggie burger yesterday, and come to find out, it had cheese in it. What the? Who does that? They conned me. They conned me. I'm no longer vegan.
Oh yeah, so tell us about that. That after the last podcast, you started going vegan for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I went vegan for about 2 weeks, and I went vegan before, and I lost weight. I lost muscle mass. At that time, I wasn't trying to lose muscle mass, so I was really upset about getting weaker. But now, my wrestling season's coming up. I'm thinking 110, the weight class. So I was okay with losing weight. I was okay. And you know what? Going vegan was really easy because I didn't eat much meat as it was. And I don't like milk and I don't like cheese. So it was really easy. I haven't weighed myself. So I'll get back with the results on that next time.
Do you still get your daily protein intake?
Do I still get what?
Your daily protein intake?
How much protein do I need? I get about...
I think it was like 0.7 grams per pound.
Oh my gosh, for something. So you want me to go calculate that? Okay.
Well, What is that? I mean, let's just round up to 1 gram.
Times 120. Okay. 84 grams of protein. No, I get about half of that.
That's why you're losing muscle.
But it's not
And then
from
it's
the lack of options, it's from the lack of energy to cook it, you know? But I'm okay. I'm really okay. I really don't want that much protein, nor do I feel like I need it.
why?
Because this protein thing is a scam.
How's
It's a
it
scam.
How is protein a
Because-
scam?
Because I don't need that much. Am I still alive? Yes. Would I be alive if I continued like this? Yes.
Well, I'm just talking
a
about
scam.
like maintaining muscle.
As an athlete or what?
Yeah,
Oh.
as an athlete.
Yeah, I think I'm not an athlete. I guess technically I am, but I don't really consider myself as one. But
Someone's
know, I think-
modest.
I don't know. I'm just not very athletic. I just have a lot of willpower, I guess. Wait, what was I saying?
Do you have enough willpower to not need sleep?
Oh my gosh, that's one of the questions we had. Can you stop skipping?
Wait, really?
Well, I put why can some people survive off minimal sleeping hours,
Oh, yeah,
3,
you
5,
did.
and wait a second. Should I delete that since we kind of already talked about it?
Yeah. Yeah, but going back to plastic straws. So,
Oh fuck! You just cut off my whole vegan thing.
okay, sorry. Keep
I don't
going.
know.
Keep
I
going.
just know that countries like Greece. I don't know if I said this in the last podcast. Countries like Greece that mostly eat a plant-based diet are the ones that live the longest and have the least amount of chronic diseases. And countries that eat more animal products like the U.S. are the ones that have the most chronic diseases. And well, you know, everyone here is drugged on
Well,
narcotics,
we also have
and that's the thesis.
we also eat the most unhealthy. Like we
Processed
eat the
food, everything.
refined sugars, refined carbs. We eat very calorically dense meals 24/7 typically.
Yes, I would agree with this information.
I think it's the
You think it's
Mediterranean
more than that?
the Mediterranean diet is a lot healthier than typical American diet.
I think any diet is healthier than the American diet.
Well, if you look at like
Japan.
Japan, they consume a lot of processed carbs, and that's the type that's bad for you.
Okay, processed carbs. I think you mean rice. Are you talking about rice?
I'm talking about like noodles and like maybe I'm just being like stereotypical or whatever, but
No, you're right. They eat a lot of rice, noodles. I watched this document. Dang, I can't trust documentaries. I don't know. That's what this documentary told me. I don't know if it's fake or not.
how credible is it?
I don't know. I think it was called Forks Over Knives, but don't quote me on that. So, moving on. Wait, do you have anything else to say?
Isn't soy terrible for you?
That's what they say. I don't know. I eat soy. I think it's good.
Okay, but like tastes good versus terrible for you.
I don't know. Why would it be terrible for you? I don't get it.
Apparently,
it's a plant.
your body can't break it down that well.
It's a plant, right? I don't really think any plant could be bad for you besides like toxic plants.
Well, too much of anything is bad for you.
Well, of course. Soy has gotten a bad rap over the years, but it can be a smart addition to your diet if you eat it the right way. Soy provides a variety of nutrients, including, okay, everything on the internet is kind of biased. I don't know. I know that I like tofu, and tofu has a lot of protein, and tofu tastes good, and tofu is made out of plant. That's all I know.
You know, plant protein isn't the same as like meat protein. There's different kinds of protein,
Yeah, I do know that. I do know that.
and
I
like
do know that.
plant protein doesn't. Okay, I'm talking from more of like a muscle building perspective. It's not really that great for you. It's not bad for you necessarily. It's just not great. But again, that's from a muscle building standpoint.
Where did you get this information from? I want to know.
Let me look at my phone. I was listening to a podcast about it, and it had an accredited nutritionist or whatever you call it.
Because of you?
Jorn Tromelin.
You know, because of you, I actually listen to podcasts.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's a way
I don't
to
know,
increase your knowledge.
I don't really know what's good or bad for you. I feel like everything and everyone, I don't know, it's like have trust issues.
As is apparent,
Like
yes.
everything I hear, you just have to like take it with a grain of salt. Cause like some people just have underlying motives. Like that one thing I told you about protein. I feel like it's just like kind of a scam like that. I mean, not all of it. I know we need protein, but I don't know if we need as much as people say we do.
It depends on what kind of person you are.
I guess.
Well, okay, let's go back to
Like the dairy thing that I told you on the last podcast, like in the 30s. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but do you remember?
yeah.
Okay.
What was the topic before this that you want to talk about, or you want to just move down the list? Because I forgot honestly.
Yeah, I forgot. Why do humans
Oh,
hate?
it was the plastic straw debate.
Oh,
You can look that up if you're interested. It's let's just keep going.
I don't get what people are arguing about though.
It's like people think that getting rid of plastic straws and like plastic cutlery will start a snowball effect. I think that's a proper term. Or oh no, slippery slope effect, where companies will start producing or using plastic less and less in order to help in the environment or whatever. And there's even some companies starting to use paper straws because, of course, paper is more biodegradable. And plastic is, well, one, there's the oil crisis, which, if you don't know, plastic is made from oil.
I didn't know.
Two, we're running out of oil. Oil crisis, yes. Three, yeah, like we said before, practice what?
Tesla.
Practice can't really break down that easily.
Plastic.
Yeah, because it gets.
I think you said plastics. I don't know.
I probably did. I saw this video of a plastic straw up a turtle's nose, and like people had to like pull it out. Oh my god! Like,
wow,
that was
you
disgusting.
venture.
I
Don't
saw it
you?
on Reddit. I was like, disgusting.
It's really sad, like the impact we're having. But
I feel like overall humans we're bad for the environment.
it's just too much humans. Just like you said, too much of anything is bad.
Like, I think half the population should be killed off right now, so we have a more sustainable population.
Okay, but how do
Not
you
really.
decide who? How do you decide who gets,
Well, you see,
who dies? Do you take like the better half?
no, not necessarily, because we also need some dumb people to like work our blue collar jobs, right? Here's what you do.
Okay.
You get all the people who don't benefit society. People who either physically can't or mentally can't.
Okay, so I'm talking about the criminals and the.
Well, no, criminals can still help society if they get out. But the prison system is like a whole nother thing. So, let's not get into that. But like,
You have some interesting ideas.
yes, I do. People, or quote unquote people, who don't benefit society at all, we should get rid of.
I think you have genocide ideas. Is what I meant.
Genocidal, you could call it that.
Oh, I could call it that. Yeah, I think I could.
I really hope you understand that I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. Why do humans hate?
Yeah.
You know, I really don't want to get into that one.
All right.
Oh, I don't want to get into the next one either. It's kind of stupid. I just thought about it. They say we're living in the most advanced and knowledgeable era, but does more danger come with the territory? For example, we have climate change and nuclear weapons, undoubtedly huge threats to humans. You know what? I don't want to get into that one either, unless you want
You know
to.
what I want to talk about?
What?
How, in terms of saving the planet, we should all go vegan.
It is much more environmentally sustainable.
Because, like, I said,
The
like,
water
oh,
that
no.
it takes,
Yep.
water that it takes to graze not graze agriculture, just for animals to drink is much more than plants need.
And then
the
the amount of
pollution-
space that animals take up
they
versus
take,
plants.
Yeah, the amount of space they take up, like that's completely like the reason that they're cutting trees. I mean, besides the fact that they want trees. Oh.
You know, trees can feel pain.
Yeah, but
right?
I kind of don't want to go vegan.
I feel like it's hard in today's. I mean,
I don't think it's hard for me.
it's easier than it
takes
was.
more effort.
But yeah,
It just takes more effort.
it's also
I don't
kind
know.
of expensive, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Oh.
Well, depending on how you do it. I always do it the wrong way. I just like eat. Like I remember last time I went vegan, I would eat bean tacos like every single time I would eat. Like that's all I would eat was bean tacos. It was really bad. So you know what? It's not veganism's fault that I got weak. It was my fault because I was lazy. Can't blame it on the veganism. Can someone be happy with zero human interaction? What do you think? No, right?
Nah, that's improbable.
Improbable or impossible?
Both.
Okay, you know what? It might be possible if you're like a psychopath.
Well, at some point you have to interact with a human, right?
Like that one girl, you remember her? The one that she got like no human interaction and like her brain development was like completely stalled and then she couldn't learn besides
Well,
this one point.
No, she had human interaction. She was just beaten, and she was beaten, right?
No, she didn't have human interaction. They would just leave her in her room.
And like, but
She didn't learn
they gave her
language.
food. You know,
Yeah, but that's about it.
if anyone, or I don't want to look this up so people actually know what we're talking about. What was the case? It was like, girl who was locked in a room for 13 years. There's a recent thing like that. Jeannie.
Oh, that is so sad.
So-
oh yeah.
Jeannie was like, for people listening, Jeannie was this girl. It was a big scandal back in the 70s, but these two
Not a
parents.
scandal. It was more like a psychological. It was like
Okay,
a
but
case in the psychology world, basically.
It was a
Because
case study,
people were
yes.
really interested
But, like-
in how. Okay.
no, but it was a scandal in how like the parents would do this to their child in that sense.
Not really.
Well,
I
okay.
feel like people weren't really outraged on the parent part. They just saw it as like, wow, we can interview this person because you can never ethically do that to someone. And like, so the fact that they found someone that psychologists didn't do that to, but it just happened, and like, which sucks anyways. But they were able to study this person to see the effects of what
Okay, wait. Let me explain this first.
on brain development.
So, Jeannie was a girl who was locked up in one room for 13 years of her life. She was tied down to a kiddie chair, if I remember correctly, right?
No, I don't think she was tied down. She was just in a room, isolated.
Yes. I think she was in one of those like.
She never learned language.
Well, yeah, she never learned language. She never learned proper human interaction. Her cognitive skills didn't really develop that well because she was never.
As would be expected because she never,
did anything.
experienced it.
She just ate and slept and went to the restroom, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and what happens with the brain is if you don't use a part of your brain, it dies. Just like if there's a part of your brain that is specifically for your right arm, they cut off your right arm, that part of your brain goes to something else. It doesn't waste space. Okay, go on, friend.
I mean, I know you know this. Not everyone might know this.
Mm-hmm.
You can sometimes still feel your arm, even though it's cut off.
Yeah, it's called what was it called? The ghost?
Phantom limb syndrome.
limb. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like we saw a video in psychology. Someone was feeling this guy's cheek, and his hand was cut off, and he felt his hand tingling. It was super weird.
I have this thing where if someone like touches like a certain part of my back, it makes like my arm tingle. It's weird. No, my leg tingle.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if that would be in the same area, but
I don't know. So yes, Jeannie, no human interaction. Poor little girl, 13 years of her life. She never had a normal life after that, right?
she didn't. They thought that they were trying to study basically how zero human interaction, like the effects it would have on the brain. And at first it was going swell. They thought that they could actually teach her, but at a certain point, I don't remember what it was called. It was probably called like the blocking point or something like that, where she could actually learn no more. Like her brain was cut off at that point, and that's as far as she could learn. It was to a certain extent. Dang, I'm doing so good with the like. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself.
The what?
The like. I haven't said like.
You just said it.
Oh shoot. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. You know what?
What?
I said it because like I was proud of myself.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, that was a good educational talk.
People who
We're gonna delete that one.
People who don't vaccinate their kids.
Uh-huh.
pieces of shit, honestly.
You know, I really don't have an opinion on that one.
Why not? Like, it seems like
Like
it'd be so terrible.
everyone has such a like harsh opinion on this, and like either think that vaccination is like a scam, and some people think that people that don't vaccinate their kids are like horrible. But like, I really don't know.
Well, it's like denying your child medical aid whenever they could really use it.
Yeah, but like people are scared. Like it's not like they're doing it to hurt their kids. They're doing it for the benefit of their kids because they don't want their kids getting all these diseases. And I don't know. It's not because they think that the vaccination itself is going to give people diseases. They have just seen things on the news. Like if you vaccinate your kids, they're going to go mentally. What's the proper word for this?
Dysfunctional.
I know. No, we learned it in psychology, the proper term in the DMS 13 or whatever. Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay. Mentally disabled. I'm just going to go with that one. I don't think that's what it was, but I don't know. I know my mom, she's kind of like, she's seen things on the news and she's like, man, that's crazy. Like this kid got herpes from it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion on this. I'm just like, do it if you want. I just hope you're just in the best interest of your kid.
Well,
you know,
the best interest of your kid would be to vaccinate them because all the old claims that it causes autism were based off false evidence. And so,
where did you get this from?
Like,
okay, well, you know what? When I went to China, I don't. Wait a second. You know what? Scratch that part out. I actually have to think about what I was gonna say. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
Yes, so there's really no downsides to vaccinating your kids, honestly. It gives them.
You know what, Vicente?
What?
I hope you vaccinate your kids when they're born.
I will. Thank you very much. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I'm just saying, like, it's just a personal decision, I think. Just like, let's talk about, okay, hold on. You know what? Cut that part out. My response to this is supposed to be just like circumcision. It's just a personal choice. I don't know. I don't think that's like a very good thing that people do, but people do it based off religious reasons. They're just looking in the best benefit of their kid, I think. And sometimes I think it can be outdated, but I don't know.
I think it is relatively outdated, but
what do you think of that circumcision?
It just
depends. I didn't add it to this. You think it's bad, good, outdated, bad, good?
I'm not sure to the validity of these statements, but apparently there's certain health benefits to both.
Yeah, they do say that. They say that if I think you're circumcised, you have a less chance of contracting diseases, sexually transmitted diseases, heart disease.
I think it was that one.
No, I think it's sexually transmitted diseases. Should we look this up?
I'm not gonna go looking up genitalia. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just on a podcast here.
Well, I have some facts in my head about random stuff related to this, but
okay. So you don't want to talk about this, is what I'm hearing.
Okay, let's just keep talking about it. You know, it's fine.
Circumcision. Oh no, I don't know what it's before. And after, let's see the benefits.
You know,
a decreased risk of urinary tract infection, a reduced risk of some sexually transmitted diseases in men, protection against penile cancer, and a reduced risk of cervical cancer in female sex partners. That one is interesting. Okay. Would you circumcise your son?
Honestly, I'm not sure because I mean, you can always do it later in life if they really wanted to.
Yes,
but
I agree.
I think it looks kind of weird to be uncircumcised.
I don't even know what that looks like. I'm gonna take your word for it.
It looks like
no. I'm not. I don't really want to know exactly.
It looks like your penis has a KKK hood on.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
You've thought about this.
What do you mean I thought about this?
You've thought about this. What the heck? A KKK hood?
Yeah, I thought about that on the spot.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like that's probably a personal decision that people really shouldn't make for their kids.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's not your body.
Yeah, to be like cutting off a part of it, just like you know how in Middle Eastern countries, especially they like mutilate female parts like of their daughters because they don't want them to feel sexual pleasure, and they I don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah, they'll like mutilate their parts, and it's actually a very large number. It's like a religious thing,
I know in Africa, they have this thing
or maybe
called.
it's Africa. I don't know.
I was
What is it
something
called?
else. In Africa, they have this thing called the reverse condom.
Oh yeah, where it's on a female.
It's like, it's to prevent rape. So, a female inserts this, and if she happens to be raped,
Okay, so it doesn't prevent rape, but prevents pregnancy from a
no, no,
rapist.
no, 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 no. Like, I'm, for lack of a better way to describe this, once the guy pulls out, little barbs stick into his
Oh
penis.
shoot!
So like,
Oh my gosh,
it's like,
you're having trouble.
I am having a lot of trouble doing this because I'm just imagining it happening to me, and it's just like, oh my god, that'd be so
Okay.
painful.
Okay, you know what? Just don't rape someone.
Yeah, just don't rape
It'd
anyone.
be easy.
But
And
imagine
not
like,
even just.
imagine that was a thing where girls just did that just to mess with you.
Oh, that would be. Yeah. Maybe a psychopath. Okay. And then? Hey, you could do that to like a cheater.
I remember this one girl saying that if someone like cheated on her, she would pour gasoline on him and like while he was sleeping and just burn him alive.
Uh, you probably shouldn't identify this person.
I'm not going to unless
Okay.
until after the podcast.
Hey, can you tell me and then cut it out?
It was
Okay, so be glad you never cheated on her.
nope.
Good job. Okay. Why do you think philosophy was developed? I really wonder about that because I know you and I really enjoy philosophical topics because it makes you think,
Mhm.
right? But like, how do you really think it was developed? Like, who? I don't know.
One day, some dude had some time on his hands, and he was like, "You know what? Why do I wonder?" And that's where it started.
Oh man.
I'm sure some form of or not psychology.
Or maybe something just happened. Someone wondered, is this ethical? And then they thought, well, I wonder why we wonder if things are ethical or how we decide if things are ethical. I don't know. You know what? This is something we could probably look up.
Is there really
It
one ethical
probably
standard, though?
came. No, it's all subjective.
Yeah,
It probably came during the Enlightenment. I bet it came in the Enlightenment.
I'm sure it came earlier.
So maybe slightly earlier, but not much earlier.
I was reading this book, and he was talking about how moral development in societies, I guess, developed. I don't know. But some like religious people tend to think morally as to what God considers moral, right?
I told you about this, yeah. In the last podcast, you remember?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Where it's like you can either go, does God decide what things are moral? No, are things
Oh, yeah.
moral because God thinks they're moral, or does God wait, or are things moral because God says they are moral? So it either limits God or it makes moral things like completely based on God, and like you don't know what it is. So like God can tell you to go like kill someone or go burn someone's house on fire, and it would be moral because God says it's moral. Or God is limited and no longer all powerful. So there's kind of like a little conflict there, depending on what you believe. Like some people fully believe like whatever God says is what is right. And some people are like, well, I don't know if I can betray my intuition like that, you know?
Yes.
Shoot, I'm sorry. I completely took over that. Continue?
Well, different cultures have different standards of morality.
Yeah.
So morality is really just a human construct, right? Because animals don't really have a sense of morality.
Yeah, animals just do.
They
I mean,
do what
whatever
they feel
keeps them
like
alive. I wanted to say something interesting here. Well, not interesting. I was just thinking about it earlier, and then I forgot it, and then I was like, and then just right now I remembered it, so I'm going to tell you. Okay, I was reading Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond.
Mhm.
Have you heard of it? You probably have.
Yep.
Okay, have you read it?
Nope.
Okay, well, he was talking about how he went to, I think it was Ghana,
Mhm.
and he noticed that the people there are extremely bright. And this one guy, he was like a political figure. He asked him, like, why did Europeans have so much success in this world? What's the difference between us and them? And okay, this isn't, I don't, like, that's not really relevant, but he later went on to say that it makes much more sense that, because he was talking about how it surprised him how bright they were and how they were always looking to learn and how curious they were, and that like all the Europe, like I guess white people that he had worked with, they were never that curious and they were sometimes lazy, and it just like kind of surprised him the difference that, like in his experience, the difference between these two groups of people, and how one is doing significantly better in the scheme of the world to these guys who he saw as a little bit more intelligent, right?
Okay.
And then he was talking about how the people, I guess, in Africa, they kind of had to use more wits for like the past century. Like, it's just recently that the Europeans have kind of industrialized everything, but like before that, you had to use a lot of wits to like not get attacked by a tribe or to survive like tribe attacks and to find your food and to survive wild animals, because there's a lot of wild animals there. Well, not anymore because environmental stuff, but before. And so they had to use a lot of brain. Like the smartest would survive, obviously, right? Because it makes sense. Like the smartest are going to survive. But with the Europeans, if you think about it, they've been like plagued by diseases, which is completely random. Like, it's not the smartest survive. It's if you have the right genetic makeup, you survive. And how they develop vaccines, so it doesn't matter if you're smart. It doesn't matter what you contribute to society. If someone cares about you enough, you're going to survive, right? So he was just talking about how it made sense to him that the people of Africa were just brighter. And I thought that was really interesting, like the way he described it. Because I was like, well, we're just like all, I just thought like we're all humans. Like, I'm pretty sure we're all equally like witted or have the same wits, but I don't know. I thought that was really interesting.
I'm gonna be honest. I
What
stopped
do you
listening
think?
halfway in.
Oh fuck! I hate you. That took a lot of.
But I have the main idea. You were talking about how
No, you don't.
Yes,
'Cause
I
All
do.
of it was important. All of it was important.
how okay. I'm not even gonna attempt anymore.
I'm gonna describe it again real quick.
No,
like,
no,
as-
no. It's fine. It's fine.
Basically, Europe was plagued by diseases.
No, no,
that,
no.
like,
I
you
got that
survived
part. I
all
got
the right
that part.
genetic makeup, and vaccinations just like were random, and it didn't make sense. It didn't matter if you can you stop. It didn't matter if you were smart. It just mattered like random things. That's it.
Sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
I'm picking up now.
No, no, no.
Okay. Anyways, I was just gonna ask your opinion on that, but
I think it is interesting how cultures that don't necessarily have more technological advancements and understanding of specific like physics or astronomy and whatnot, how they tend to be more creative with their hands, so to speak, and they have to be quick on their feet. They have to think of practical solutions to problems. So
Right.
like you give an American a task, the average American, to like build a house, they're gonna be pretty
Yeah.
confused. But like people who are used to always thinking on the spot, thinking of creative ways to achieve something, will probably have a better. and
oh,
easier
so you're
time.
saying it has mostly do with practice? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, yeah, of course. He was also saying how you can ask them to like do a math problem, and it would seem that they're inferior, but you can ask a white person to build a house or to just build a shelter in the middle of nowhere, and they would seem inferior, right? So
Exactly,
it just that's why he was talking about how like it's really hard to distinguish. Like, I don't know. And I know during like I can't really say a specific time period, but you've heard of social Darwinism, right?
hmm
Yeah, he was just talking about that. I don't know.
Early
Should I
1900s
do-
and late 1800s.
Good job. Wait, no, it was before the. It was before that. It was since like the 1600s to the 1900s. So like people actually.
Darwin wasn't even alive. in the 1600s.
Social Darwinism. That's just the name they gave it, but it existed before that. That's like saying natural selection didn't exist until Darwin discovered it.
No, the term didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. The term didn't exist.
In the
but the
late
action did.
19th and early 20th centuries, exactly what I said.
I know, but I'm telling you that the actual act did exist before that time. The term didn't because Darwin wasn't alive.
Okay.
It was called racism.
Okay.
Before that.
You should make that more clear next time.
I think I made it plenty
You
clear.
said-
but
you
just
said-
hopped on me.
You said that social Darwinism existed in the 16th century.
It did. It just didn't have that name to it.
And it didn't exist. It's something similar, but
Yeah,
not
it
entirely.
did. It did exist. Okay, so then how are we gonna name it?
Huh?
It did exist before that time, but now later we're naming it that. It's not like as soon as Darwin came up with this theory, people were like, "Oh yeah, social Darwinism." No, historians came up with that.
I could have sworn that it was also people in like the early 1900s that openly used the term, even though it was recently created. So I wouldn't say historians necessarily created that.
Okay. What next?
So whenever I have a point in an argument, you're just gonna scander off your little salamander.
I mean, I could just. It's because
It did cause
I could argue. I could argue with you, but like
yeah,
I don't really feel like it.
okay,
Besides,
I
like
get you.
I like how you're like I could have sworn, or like you just kind of say what you think, and I'm like, I don't really want to argue, because I like how you just say what you think, and then you don't exactly try to say something was like a fact, or like you try to assume something and try to make an argument out of it. You see what I'm saying?
So what were you saying about moving on? What topics do we have left?
A lot.
We only have like 2 topics left that we haven't gone down the list on.
Okay. Does our interconnectivity with our friends via social media encourage less social interaction with non-friends? Of course, yeah. 100%.
Wait, let me read that again. Does our interconnectivity with our friends via social media encourage less social interaction with non-friends? So like,
I really think it makes people less happy.
Wait, so I'm not understanding what you're saying exactly. So I'm just gonna ask a clarifying question. Are you saying that because we're so interconnected, we...
Wait a second, you wrote this question.
Really?
Yes.
I did? That sounds like a you question, though.
Does our interconnectivity with our friends via social... I would never say via.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Oh my gosh, you're funny. Okay, how much time do we have? Like, how much have we done?
We've been going for an hour and 9 minutes, but we also took like 10 minutes at the beginning to just talk about random stuff, like not
Alright.
related.
Okay, so what do we have? Like 20 minutes left?
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. Do you have a lot of homework?
Not really.
Really? I do. But it's okay. Oh, I'm addicted to popcorn. I'm like addicted to popcorn. I got rid of my addiction for a good like 3 months or something. But oh my gosh, I love popcorn so much.
Yeah, I really like popcorn. Like the Pop Secret Ultimate Movie Butter Popcorn, whatever it's called. Oh my god.
No, I love skinny pop. Like it almost tastes like nothing, but it's so good. I don't know. Like I can eat so much of that.
I found this Trader Joe's popcorn that's like 200, 300 calories for like 3 cups or 4 cups.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for a lot.
Hey, wait, how many calories?
Like 300-400.
For how many?
I'm gonna go get the bag real quick. I'm gonna get the bag.
No.
What?
No. Okay, no. Because we're not even gonna put this in the podcast.
We're not? Okay.
But
Fine.
skinny pop is like 1 cup for like 40 calories.
Okay.
And I love it. Like I love it so much. But it really harms me because I can eat so much. And I'm trying to make myself not eat snacks while I do homework because I'll just get carried away and then it makes me take longer. I don't know. Anyways, In response to your question, does our interconnectivity with our friends via social media encourage less social interaction with non-friends? Encourage less social interaction? You mean with friends?
Hmm.
I think you meant with friends.
I
Like
think
in real life.
I think I meant like you're less likely to go up to someone and start the conversation.
Oh, like because you don't need
Because you
to
feel,
actually be socially bold because you have other means of getting that social
yeah,
interaction.
like
Is that what you're saying?
you always have your friend in your back pocket, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. You know what? I think social media, like a lot of people have opinions on social media, but like I really don't think it's a good thing.
Honestly, not really me either.
I think it's good, like to promote certain things and like to show your life, but like a lot of people spend so much time on it, and it used to be me too. Like I used to just like scroll through Twitter like mindlessly, like just scrolling, and I hate to say it, but that was me. And then like I completely went off social media for like 3 months, I think, or something like that. I don't remember. And it just like I got rid of the habit, and life is so much better without it. Like I do my stuff. I like my focus has increased so much, and I just get much more time to do things that actually matter for me, like wrestle and like make my food and do my homework and read. And at this point, it's actually kind of become a little bit boring. Like the only things that interest me are like my profile, but like things that other people do, I don't really care.
I think a lot of people get caught up in comparing their lives to other people.
Yeah, even if they don't realize it. Say
Yeah,
like I don't compare my life like you. I don't know. I think a lot of people do without realizing it.
it's it's a very troubling downward spiral because like you see your friends say on their Snapchat story or on their Instagram or whatever, you see your friends hanging out with each other and you're the one not there. Like that can kind of get you sometimes.
Yeah, and if you don't see it, you don't feel it.
And then like you
Out of
see,
sight, out of mind.
yeah, exactly. And then you see these couples posting about how much they love each other, even though they don't know what
Yeah,
love
even
is.
though well, they
And
might, but like
I'm sure they have some idea, but
half the
like,
time they're just stunting on, or not. Ooh, I don't like using that word. They're just putting a prettier picture on the internet.
yes,
That's better. So yeah, social media, I don't really like it.
except
Do you
for
use
Reddit.
it a lot?
I use Reddit a lot, honestly.
I know you do. You send like ever since last year, you would always send me stuff, and I really like when you send me stuff. I just sometimes like question how credible this stuff is.
Well, there's always an article that links to it, so you know.
Oh, really? That's cool.
You
I didn't
never.
know that.
You can click on the picture and like there's an article that links to it.
I didn't know that. I don't
It's not
use
just
Reddit.
blanket statements.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, but I think
I-
Reddit's probably the best social media.
I
Even-
like Twitter a lot. Twitter is so funny.
Twitter's just people arguing at each other, from what I understand.
Yeah, it kind of is. And a lot of people set things up, but like a lot of stuff is funny. I just hate how on Twitter people generalize a lot. Like that's one of my pet peeves is when people generalize. Do you know what that is? Generalization?
Yes,
Right?
I
You do, right?
Natalie.
Okay. Okay, I'm just asking. My mom does it so much and it makes me so mad.
Yeah, you told me how your mom was racist, like Loki.
Yeah. Like she's always I don't know. A little bit.
My grandma's
Like, she
racist to my mom,
Oh yeah, you've told me. That's annoying.
because my grandma's Hispanic, like hardcore. Grew up in Mexico with
Yeah.
nobody Hispanic. And then my mom's white, so it's like, oh no, you're not. I don't
Why
like
did you describe no money with hardcore
'cause, like,
Mexican?
It's like comparing someone.
To me, that
It's
sounds
like
like
comparing
a
someone
sort of
from the New York
racist
City to
statement,
like.
which is ironic, considering we're having this conversation. Welcome to my TED Talk.
I'm just saying she didn't grow up in a place that had access to more education, or
I just want to know why you link that with being hardcore Mexican.
or like.
When I go to Mexico, there's this girl. She's like, I think she's a year younger than me. And she's doing like calculus. She's so ahead in math. And like she goes to like this, I don't know. I just thought that was a generalization
Well,
statement, and there was
I'm saying
kind of
my grandparents live,
disagreeing with
or my
this.
grandparent, because my grandpa died. My grandma lives in the middle of nowhere, like 6 hours from Mexico City.
I don't see how this supports your point. Relevance? Question mark.
I'm cutting this out.
Why? Because. Okay.
You're giving me unnecessary shit, Natalie. I don't appreciate this. I feel attacked.
You deserve
I feel
it.
hurt. I
Someone's
deserve to
being-
be attacked. Is that what you're saying?
No, you deserve. Wait, what was the first part you said? I feel. Wait, what did you say?
I feel
Oh,
attacked.
you're giving me unnecessary shit. You deserve it.
How do I deserve it?
Because I didn't agree with your statement. So you deserve it from me. Or I just felt the need to give it to you. And that's the thesis.
Welcome to the first tape.
I hate you. Okay,
Yes.
is this it? Oh, the service industry being replaced by robots. The only thing I wonder is like, what is this gonna do to our workforce?
We're gonna have a lot of unemployment, right? 'Cause-
Yeah, right. That makes sense, right? And the thing is, okay. So if more people get the college degrees, the value of someone with a college degree goes down, right?
Yep.
Shoot. Okay. Makes sense. So how much time are we at? Are we done?
We're at 117.
Okay. And that's the thesis.